everybody. Welcome to your restorative journey. We are going to start our practice in a little bit of a supported shavasana, using two blocks if you have them to set them up kind of in nice L shape as a place for you to rest either a few pillows or a bolster so that it's kind of on an angle. So I'll stick meditation cushion and a folded blanket on top. And as we start to recline, we'll take the base of the spine towards the lower end and start to rest the head back on the higher end, grabbing a hold of any additional props that we might need to support the head. Maybe a rolled up blanket underneath the knees. And just starting to really allow the body to unwind, taking your arms as wide as you possibly can, comfortably. And allowing the backs of the hands to rest down on the mat, really starting to open up across the front of the chest, the shoulders. And allowing now for a few really deep breaths as you start to arrive in this space. Breathing in through the nose. Really filling the lungs, expanding the ribs, filling the diaphragm, and exhale through the mouth. Taking a few breaths just like this, just to center yourself in the space. Allowing your breath to flow deeply in through the nose and out through the nose. And just taking a moment to kind of scan your environment and all of the natural background sounds that are taking place right now in your home. And just invite all of that into your practice this evening. It becomes a part of the landscape, and when we invite it in this way, it doesn't have the same power to bother us like it might. And then start to expand your awareness into your physical body, just looking for really kind of an assessment of what your energy is like right now. How tired and fatigued do you feel? Have you got a sort of strange disbursement of your energy when you think about mental energy, emotional energy, physical, muscular energy? You know, what exactly is the body feeling right now? Sometimes we go all day without even really fully checking in with ourselves. And by the time we lie down in bed, it's like, wow, I didn't realize how tired I was. So this is your opportunity, to really check in consciously. And maybe to use the information that you find to really determine whether or not you should take a little bit more rest when it's available. As you lie here with heavy arms, breathing deeply and sensing into the rise of the belly, the chest, start to release any additional thoughts or things that might be nagging in the corners of your mind, just begging for a little bit of attention. Start to dismiss all of that, letting it all go. In this moment, you've chosen to be here. And so instead of allowing the mind to drag you out of this moment, just dismissing any thoughts that do not pertain to the here and now, almost as if they were clouds passing overhead. All of those things will still be there when we're done our practice. And when you have the energy to address them, you should. But for now, being here in this moment, connecting your breath with your body, and just starting to really allow the weight of the shoulders to drain down into the support of the props. And really breathe into the depths of your torso as if you were trying to really inflate the low belly with air. Breathing in this way, you'll deepen your inhales and lengthen your exhales, allowing your exhales to become longer in duration than your inhales, which is a powerful suggestion to activate our parasympathetic nervous system, the more rest and repair, rest and digest functions of the nervous system. And all of this relaxation is communication directly to that hub, that nervous system, to the main brain of the body. Because the body only ever knows what's going on in its environment based on your thoughts, your feelings, your cues, how quickly you're breathing, how fast your pulse is going. And so as we lie here in this space together, we start to tell the body that it's safe now, that our pulse is slowing down, that our breath is becoming longer. And all of this suggests that we are in no danger at all, which is what our stress response is for. So just enjoying these next few breaths here as you communicate in this more primal way with your body, inviting it into this state of deep relaxation. Let your breath be at the forefront of your awareness. Deepening the inhales and lengthening the exhales. And for the next few breaths, I'll invite you to reach your arms behind you overhead and grab for either opposite wrists, forearms, or elbows, allowing the arms to become as heavy as possible here. Really breathing into a little bit of a deeper release. Noticing the depth of the sensation that becomes available here. Relax your jaw. Maybe lick your lips and swallow. Allow the body to just soak up the benefits as we open across the chest and into the shoulders. Soften all of the muscles of the face. Notice where we might be holding some tension and relax. Deepening the inhale and lengthening the exhale. Very, very slowly starting to release the arms, maybe even noticing some pins and needles sensations moving through the fingers and arms. And very slowly we'll bend into the knees and start to pull the body back upright, bringing chin to chest, and then lifting up and off the props. And we'll take our props to the side for a moment. We're going to come into a seated position. And so perhaps finding a seat on a block or a folded blanket if sitting cross-legged is not comfortable, which is not for most. And from here, turn your palms down onto your knees, fingertips kind of gripping over top of the kneecaps. On your inhale, lift your shoulders up towards your ears. And as you exhale, draw them back and down. Taking 3 more rounds like this, inhaling shoulders up to the ears. And exhale, draw them as far back as you can and then down. Last time, inhale, shoulders come forward and up to the ears. Exhale as far back as you can and then down. Now reach your fingertips towards your knees to grab a hold. And on your next inhale, start to move into a bit of a cow shape with the spine, drawing the shoulders back, lifting the heart forward, and tilting the head back. As you exhale, sit back onto your tailbone as you draw the chin to the chest, rounding the spine, and maybe gently pulling on the knees to achieve more of a rounded spine. Inhale, moving into your cat variation, or your cow rather, drawing the chest forward, tilting the head back. And exhale, sit back and round the spine. Last time, inhaling, moving forwards into that cow shape, head back. Exhale, sit back, chin to the chest. Your next inhale, come to a nice tall spine and gently drop your shoulders down away from their ears. Relaxing your jaw, closing the eyes. We'll breathe in to lengthen the spine, making sure that we are sitting tall and erect. And as we exhale, drop your left ear to your left shoulder. From here, you'll walk the right fingertips out to the right side. And just hold here. Breathing in and out through the nose. And really noticing, especially here in this shape, how the inhale brings so much sensation up the shoulder, even in towards the muscles of the face and jaw. And so use your breath as a tool. As you breathe in, you start to find a little bit more of that lengthening sensation. You find depth to the pose. And as you exhale, you sort of release that depth just a little bit. If you're looking for a little bit of a greater sensation, you might even hover the right hand off the mat, noticing how the sensation changes. Thumb points to the sky, palm faces forward. Continuing to drop left ear to left shoulder, making sure we're not leaning left as such, but the spine is tall. And it's just the head dropping to the shoulder. Continue breathing as you heavy the right shoulder down, really actively pressing that shoulder down. If you need a little bit more sensation, turn your palm away from the front of the body and rest the back of the hand at the low back. Taking a moment yet again to drop and heavy that right shoulder and heavy the left ear towards the left shoulder. Breathing deeply here. Noticing, even if we hold at the top of our inhale, just to savor that release. And then slow, steady exhales. We tend to carry so much tension in our jaws, in our head, necks, and shoulders. And so this is an opportunity to really release these tender muscles. And just notice all of the different ways that you're feeling this sensation. Continue breathing with depth and length. And if you're looking for a little bit more sensation, the right fingertips may reach to find the left elbow or elbow crease, bicep. And wherever you have found yourself with your arms, we're going to gently look down towards the left shoulder. So tilting the chin now, almost that we could tuck it into the left collarbone. And breathe deeply here, heavying the right shoulder. Feeling how this shifts the sensation towards the back of the neck, the back of the skull. And let your breath be full, keeping the muscles of the face soft. Deepening the inhales, lengthening the exhales. Last big breath here. And as we exhale, release the right hand, take both palms down towards the knees, and very, very slowly lift the head. And we'll just look slowly to the right side. And once again to the left side. And then bringing head back into center. From here, lengthen the spine and drop the right ear to the right shoulder. Lengthening and heavying left shoulder down as if you could use your musculature to really drop that shoulder. Deepening the breath in and lengthening the breath out. You might even walk your left fingertips to the left side. Heavying left shoulder and continuing to find that steady breath. So you lengthen the spine and drop the right ear, just heavy it down towards the right shoulder. Observe where you hold tension, which is worth it to know. Because the sensations that we're feeling right now are accumulated during moments of stress and tension. We have the tendency almost to contract when we are feeling stressed. We withdraw into ourselves, almost in the way that a turtle pulls its limbs inside of its shell. We draw our shoulders up towards our ears, our posture gets wonky. And so when we are aware of all of the places that we carry stress, we might catch ourselves live in the moment and correct. And this is the gift of awareness. Continue breathing deeply. You might hover that left hand, noticing how it changes the sensation. Breathing in and out through the nose. Allowing your breath to grow deep and wide, expanding the ribs. Really noticing the width when it comes to that space along your neck. You can feel the breath expand in these places as you inhale. And of course, we're not sending breath to the neck, but what happens as we lengthen these muscles, we make them very, very tight. We stretch them to their fullest capacity, and then we breathe, which kind of provides a little bit of resistance, a little bit of additional pressure. And this way we can use the breath as a tool in any posture. If you're looking for a little bit more sensation, turn your palm to the back of the room, bend your elbow, and just rest the back of the hand at the low back, heavying that left shoulder, heavying right ear to right shoulder. Find your breath. Notice your jaw. Even the space behind your ear, all of these little muscles that we never think about. Just breathing deeply as if every single breath had the potential to start to break apart some of the adhesions that form when our muscles contract. This happens in our connective tissue, and it's a protective mechanism, which is a beautiful thing. But we don't need to protect our muscles from stress. And so coming to this practice is a beautiful opportunity to really supplement life and all of the tension that comes with it. Now, if you are still looking for a little bit more sensation, you might take the right fingers to reach for, or left fingers rather, to reach for the right elbow crease or bicep. Wherever you find your resting left arm, begin to turn your chin down towards your right collarbone. And really kind of nestling it in towards the collarbone if you can, breathing deeply, noticing how this changes the sensation. Taking the next few breaths to really observe what exactly you're feeling as you have shifted. Heavying the left shoulder, lengthening the spine, deepening the breath. Enjoying these last few breaths. Big breath in. And as you exhale, return your left palm to your left knee. Begin to lift the head very slowly back to center. And then take a moment to look left and then right. And then back through center. From here, we're going to meet in child's pose. And we have a few options for really how to release the shoulders a bit more in our child's pose. So option one is that we can come up to either blocks or a bolster across the width of the mat. And simply just rest the forearms on this elevation, bringing the forehead down towards the mat. If you pulled your blocks and bolsters a little closer, you could bring the hands to prayer. And whatever feels the most comfortable, we want to be able to sink into a little bit of discomfort. So choosing something that provides a little bit of feedback. And then starting to really deepen your breath and notice the sensations that start to come into your experience now, maybe even in between the shoulder blades. Using your breath as a tool here, again, to really free up some of the adhesions in our connective tissue that makes our muscles feel tense and tight. Every breath in is an opportunity to find just a little bit more depth. Resting heavily, relaxing the face, the jaw. Allowing your breath to be at the forefront of your awareness. Yoga is such a beautiful practice for cultivating awareness, for starting to really become a witness in our experience. And when we can take that active role, that conscious role of witnessing our life as it unfolds, as we experience emotion, as we react to emotion, we start to become a little bit more in control. We have a little bit more autonomy. We are a little bit more grounded. And this is the gift, truly, of yoga, to begin to see the world through new eyes, moment to moment, to see ourselves as we really are, instead of as we'd like to see ourselves. And from this place of transparency, of honesty, we can see things differently and we can make changes as needed. We can pivot. We spend a lot of time in reaction to our experiences, our perceptions, our emotions. And this can be detrimental in some ways to our life. It can cause us to kind of show up not as our best foot forward because we're in the middle of an emotional reaction. We're not always our best when we get bad news. We need to process. So this idea of cultivating awareness, even simple breath awareness, and then adding that into body awareness, and then adding that into emotional awareness, we start to peel back the layers of self and really see the bigger picture. It can be something as simple as eliminating road rage. Because we recognize in the moment that getting angry isn't actually productive. Allow yourself to breathe deeply, to sink into the support underneath the elbows. You might even roll your forehead from left to right, relaxing through the neck. This type of a practice is really like the self-massage that we could give ourselves and probably should at the end of a long day. After an intense emotional experience, we tend to hold a lot of stiff muscles during a period of intense emotion or trauma. And so really breathe as though every single breath is part of the medicine, it's part of the healing, it's part of unraveling a lot of what we're carrying unnecessarily. It just builds up over time. Last few breaths here in this supported child's pose. Relaxing your face, your jaw, back of your neck. Very, very slowly starting to rise all the way up. And we'll take our blocks towards the top of our mat. And you might want your blanket for this one, just depending if you're practicing on a cold floor like I am. You might want this blanket here just to kind of spread out, making a bit of a kind of like a T for your yoga mat so it comes out across. And we'll come all the way down to the belly here. Now from here, we're going to extend the right arm out to the right side and take our left fingertips underneath our left shoulder so that we can just push the body onto the right side. Now, the position for your right hand might be a bent elbow depending on how much tension we're carrying across the right shoulder. And as you find yourself onto your right side, relax the forehead down. And you might bend the knees, finding fetal position here. You might keep the legs straight, lifting the left leg, bending the left knee, and just stepping the foot behind the right leg. Left arm can rest heavy wherever it lands. Or you might reach it up towards the sky and place the back of the hand at the low back. Whatever you decide, start to find a deeper breath awareness. Deepening your inhales and lengthening your exhales. Allowing your body to become heavy on your mat. Notice all of the myriad of sensations that you are experiencing. And as much as you can surrender the weight of your body into the support of the mat, do so. Allowing the mind to be still. See, as humans, we have this, it's sort of an indoctrination, it's a fixation on productivity. We almost feel guilty sometimes for taking these periods of rest for ourselves, for investing in our own respite or rejuvenation. And so the mind thinks, it wanders, it plans, it says, oh, good, the body is resting. I've got all of this time now to use the mind. And instead of indulging in that obsession with productivity, just let it go. Just be here. When we can learn to be in each moment fully, we get so much more out of life. If we never really fully exist in the present moment, are we even living? Are we just kind of waiting for the future that never comes as anything more than a now moment? The future is unfolding. It's in flux, it's in motion. But we're never going to get there. There's nowhere to get, because as we arrive in the next future now moment, there are more coming up. And time keeps on turning. So can we just learn to be here now? Tomorrow will take care of itself. Notice what it feels like as you relax into the shape. Allowing the body just to melt down, softening all tension, all resistance. Last few breaths. And if your mind wanders, just bring it back to the breath. Assigning your awareness to just the breath. That not a single inhale comes through your nose without you being consciously aware of it. And this is such a beautiful way to practice contemplation, which leads to a little bit more introspective practices like meditation. The goal, really and truly, is not to do anything. That's the whole point. The goal is to be. And so all the doing that we're doing is to undo the doing so that we can just be. Nothing to achieve, nothing to accomplish. The doing aspect of humanity is the masculine. This is the drive change forward, make things happen. This is the, the force of life. This is what drives everything forward. This is the energy that provides action. But to be, this is like receptivity. This is the divine feminine. To be is really this beautiful sort of consciousness that animates the rest of life. It is the non-doing. It is that like yang, that yin, that opposite to the yang of action, of masculine, of doing. Our world has become imbalanced. So if we find one last big breath in, and as you exhale, just coming back onto your belly and extending your left arm out to the left side, right fingertips underneath the right shoulder, and pressing the body over onto the left side. Resting the forehead. And again, maybe we pull the knees in to fetal position. Maybe legs straight. We lift the top right leg, bending into the knee and just stepping behind the left leg. Wherever we find ourselves, relax your right arm. Maybe even sweeping it up towards the sky and resting the back of the hand at the low back. Can you settle into this shape fully? Can you relax the left shoulder, the low back, the forehead and face, the left arm, the right arm. Resting firmly the weight of the body down into the mat. Continue to direct your awareness to the breath. There is nothing more that you need to be aware of. The breath is such a perfect tool to use because it is so full of metaphor. And when we focus on the breath, this is an otherwise automatic function of the body that really doesn't require our conscious awareness. We don't have to send the message from the brain to the lungs to breathe. This is something that's happening. It's not the same as if we wanted to lift our arm up or down or walk or run. This is something that happens. And so when we direct our attention and our awareness towards something that's already taking place inside the body, this is a portal that, if we wanted to, could be the gateway to meditation, which is ultimately merging with the object of your awareness. And so see if you can wrap your mind around it this way, that the whole concept of meditation, sometimes we just think of meditation as this one thing, sitting in silence, but it's not necessarily that. It's when your consciousness is fully absorbed and present to the object of your meditation. So if it is to empty the mind, you enter into a state of complete emptiness, complete non-doing. This is kind of the base for all of creation. Out of nothing springs everything. If you are focusing your awareness on the breath, then it's this idea that the breath and the breather become one, that there is no difference between the incoming breath, the lungs receiving it, and the breather that's participating in this whole thing. So we could practice a breathing meditation at any time. We need moments that we could sit and just breathe with awareness. Notice your body. Have you allowed any tension to creep back into your shoulders, your jaw, your face? And if you find tension, release it, let it go. If you find thoughts in your mind, release them, let them go. You are here now. So be here. Think about how much time is wasted obsessing over the future. You know, when we're anticipating, let's say, having a difficult conversation, and we play out a million different ways that the scenario could go, all a complete waste of time, because when we arrive in the moment goes the way the moment goes. So think of all of the time that we waste creating stress for ourselves before it's necessary. But if we could check in moment to moment to moment into this place of presence, am I breathing? Yes. Have I been fed today? Yes. I had water today? Yes. Great. I'm doing okay. Life is good. It's the little things that are the big things. And the way that our way of life has changed, this is so important now more than ever. Last few breaths on this side, really heavying that left shoulder down. Getting as much benefit out of these poses as we can by maximizing the breath. That's sort of like this idea of if we're going to do something, anything, we should really maximize on our investment. And so we don't want to come to the practice of yoga and think and be elsewhere and really not get much out of it. You know, it's the same idea when we think about finances. This translates so much easier into finances because we understand that more money is likely better, right? We don't think a lot about the return on investments when it comes to the food that we eat. Is this going to enrich my body in a way that it provides value, or is this just going to create waste? Is this practice that I'm doing going to make me feel better or worse? Could I maximize my practice by being more present? How can I get the most out of every experience? And that's where awareness comes in. And a big breath in through your nose. And exhale to unwind, coming back onto your belly. And we'll take the arms forward now. A block handy in case we need it to rest the forehead. We're going to walk the right hand underneath the left and over to the left side so that we can come all the way down onto the outer edges of that right arm. Now, you might reach your left arm forward and start to rest your chin on your right arm or forehead on a block. If you're looking for a little bit more sensation, I think this is perfectly fine. But if you are looking for more, you might cross your left arm in front of the right and over to the right side. And wherever you find yourself, just find the depth of your breath. Maximizing your investment. Really getting the most out of this sensation. It's almost as if we are trying to come to the very edge of our discomfort. Just before pain, we never work with pain. When we linger in these areas of discomfort, we start to open the gate for a little bit more mobility, a better range of motion. All of this truly to make the body a more comfortable place to live. The whole premise of yoga, as per the most ancient texts, is truly to master the mind, is truly to live a better life, is truly to sit in meditation. They recognize the significance of a disciplined mind. And so in many places in the world, yoga is known as a mental science. Notice exactly what sensations are transpiring here as you continue to deepen your breath. Considering even just holding your breath in at the top of your inhale for just a few seconds before releasing. Allow your body to become heavier and more relaxed. Releasing any effort. There's nothing to achieve. There's nothing to do. Just be here. Be aware of what it's like to be here. Feel your belly as it gently presses into the mat. Relax the body heavily. Deepening your inhales and lengthening your exhales. Very, very slowly, when you are ready, starting to unwind the arms. And then just coming to the other side, walking left arm under right. Maybe extending right arm long. Or if you're looking for more sensation, walking right hand to the left side. And resting the chin on the arms or forehead on the block. Notice any difference in this side from the last side. Breathe deeply into all of this discomfort that you might come across, and perhaps consider holding at the top of the inhale just a few moments before you release. Becoming aware of the difference between pain and discomfort. We never sit with pain, but we lean into discomfort. And this is a beautiful practice to take off the mat, leaning into discomfort. This is where the growth happens. This is where change is possible, when we move outside the realms of comfort. Heavy your body down. Release any sense of doing, any type of resistance. And just surrender into the pose. Last few breaths. Deepening your inhales. And lengthening your exhales. When you're ready, taking your time to unwind. Coming all the way back up to child's pose and then kneeling. And we'll go ahead and reach for our blanket, rolling it into a little bundle here. Depending on your spine, you might choose a longer, more thin roll, or a thicker roll. And we're going to place this blanket or towel right at the place where our kind of wing bones, those shoulder blades are. We'll come all the way down and then aim to lift the shoulders up and back, relaxing the arms up and overhead. Resting heavily here, the body draped over top of the blanket. One last opening for the front of the shoulders. Allow the breath to slow and steady. Relaxing the whole weight of your body down. If your mind wanders, bring it back to this moment. Allowing all of your thoughts to pass like clouds. Be here now. Lick your lips and swallow, relaxing your jaw. Relaxing your throat. Really in the place now where we feel fully relaxed. Last few breaths here. Very, very slowly taking your time to release that rolled up blanket, putting it off to one side, and then finding your way into your most comfortable shavasana. It might be the way that we started our practice this evening, on a bit of an angle with 2 blocks and a bolster. You might have something else in mind. And so starting to make yourself comfortable, maybe adding any cozy socks or blankets. And as you find your way into your most comfortable spot, so a nice big breath in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Starting to relax. Close your eyes. Start by relaxing your muscles. When thoughts come to mind, disregard them. And turning your attention or your awareness back to your body, back to your breath. As your muscles become loose and relaxed, starting with your feet, your ankles, relax. Your lower legs, relax. Knees, legs. Relax your pelvis, your torso, your back and shoulders, relax. Arms, relax. Hands. Your face and all the muscles in the face, relax. Your whole head, relax. Feel your body loose and relaxed. And turn your awareness now to your breathing. Notice each breath without trying to change your breathing in any way. Just observe. As thoughts arise, acknowledge them and let them go, returning your awareness to your breathing. Breathe naturally, slowly. Notice your breath as it flows gently in and gently out of your body without any effort. When thoughts arise, acknowledge them and then return your awareness to your breathing. Interruptions are normal. Just let these thoughts go and return your awareness to your breathing. Inhale peace and exhale stress. As your thoughts wander, bring your awareness back to your breath. Inhale peace and exhale stress. Inhale peace and exhale stress. Very, very slowly, bringing your awareness back into your body, back into your environment. I'm starting to invite some small movements into fingers and toes, into wrists and ankles. Taking one hand to the heart, and the other hand over top. And close our practice with an offering of peace to ourselves, to those in our life, and to the world at large. Repeating Shanti 3 times to close. Inhale through the nose, filling the lungs. Exhale, sigh out. Inhale to prepare. And repeat aloud or silently to yourself. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Thank you so much for carving out some time for yourself this morning or this evening, rather. Have a beautiful rest of the night. Stay in your shavasana as long as you can. Thank you so much for joining.